Hi there. This past October, I interviewed Neil Biggin, sound guy for the Actua series. We walked through his life as a musician in the games industry and covered a lot of ground. I've been cutting out pieces of this interview and posting them as shorter, more focused videos, but today I have something different. After I posted a 3-hour interview, I talked with Neil again in a much more casual setting. We were off the record, but ended up talking about his experiences at Gremlin. He described an amazing joke that he hit in actual golf, but I can't find any record of it existing. So what I'd like to do is share the clip where he describes it, then ask for help finding it or disproving its existence.
One of my favorite ones for audio was it was the producer of Actua Golf. He came to me. Actua Golf was on CD32 as well as, I can't remember if it was on PlayStation as well. I think it was PlayStation as well.
It was.
And PC, yeah. So we had lots of room for music, real music, Red Book and stuff, and then lots of sound effects. Anyway, so it's a golf game. There's not a lot of sound effects to be had. There's a babbling brook, there's the odd bird flies across, but there's basically just the golf effects. And then nice chill out music or wind. That's about it. And the producer, so he came to my office one day and he said, we need some more sound effects in golf. I'm like, well, you've got the ball being hit. You've got, what do you need? And he went, I need more animals. I said, well, it's not a jungle. What do you want me to put in here? We've got sparrows flying over. I said, just more variety. So I absolutely smothered Actua Golf with lions, tigers, eagles. It's covered in them. It's covered in baboons. Every kind of animal sound effect I could get, it's in Actua Golf. And then he didn't know this, but we put a cheat in. I don't know how you launch the cheat, but we actually motion captured this. The golfer stops. He's about to take his shot, and he stops and he walks up to a tree and takes a piss against a tree. And so we actually had this situation where he walks up to the tree, takes a piss. So I recorded that by pouring Coca-Cola into a mug on my desk and like that frothing of Coca-Cola. So that was the noise. That was the noise of peeing against the tree. And then as he's having his pee and this noise is happening, there's a lion roar goes, like this huge lion roar, and he spins his head like an owl 180 degrees. Absolutely fantastic cheat. I don't know if it ever was in any magazines or whatever. The producer never knew. The owners never knew. It's just an absolute classic cheat.
Yeah, that's so silly.
Yeah, we had loads of them like that. I love doing that stuff. Yeah. We never did anything like backwards saying love the devil or any of that nonsense, but yeah.
That you know of. I'm sure somebody snuck that in when you weren't looking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I know what jokes I was playing. I really don't know what everybody did.
I mean, yeah, honestly, it's better that you got more creative with it because like that's low hanging fruit kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, and like if media ever got hold of it back then,
yeah,
and
you've got creative people that aren't going to want to do the low hanging fruit,
Backwards head lion peeing on a tree is like much funnier.
I don't know how I came up with it, but it was hilarious.
It's so good.
So we actually had the first ever motion capture system in video games. EA got the second one, I think, and that meant that we had companies renting it to shoot adverts for Kit Kats and Skittles and things like that. So we used to get all sorts of people coming into the studio and being motion captured with all the little balls stuck to them, and
yeah,
this was something nobody had ever seen before. So almost every time an advert was shot or a bit of a movie was shot or whatever it was, famous people would turn up to be motion captured, and you'd have film crews and things like that around, or journalists would be there to see all that stuff. It was cool being at that cutting edge of it all.
Yeah, the other thing I was thinking was, yeah, it's motion capture, but this is still like the PlayStation 1 in that kind of era.
Yeah.
So it's gonna look really low fidelity, like low polygon.
And yeah.
I think that's just gonna make it funnier, and I wish I could see it, but that's assuming anybody's even found it at this point.
I wonder if it made it into the final release. I imagine it must have. Somebody would have had to have found it, and then the coder would have had to remove it. can't imagine it was removed.
Yeah, but it's still a matter of somebody online finding it and documenting it.
Yeah, I wonder. I might have a look later.
So it goes. When I asked Neil for permission to post this clip, he was a little hesitant about his assessment that he had made initially. Quote, when forced to pick between truth and legend, print the legend. However, I want to know for sure. There are 3 games in the Actua Golf series, of which Neil only worked on the first one. He's credited in the second, but was at EA when that was being developed. So it's almost certainly the first game. But this is divided into multiple versions, the PlayStation and Saturn. And each of these is split into a European version, titled Actua Golf, and an American version, titled VR Golf 97. And there might be more, since it was also translated and imported to Japan. But I suspect that if the code was published at all, it'd be on the European release. I'm also suspecting that this cutscene was one of the random cutscenes that plays when you idle for too long.
Patience is the name of the game in golf for spectators and some of the golfers, but I must say some professional players take it to the nth degree.
Sadly, I just don't know much about debugging games from this era, so I'm calling for your help. If you have any idea how to find this, leave a comment or tweet at me or whatever. I'd love to see this thing. If not, thanks for watching anyway. Be sure to check out the full interview with Neil that should be linked on the screen right now. And that's all I've got for you. See ya.